What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 79 of the Offshore Gamescast, episode 2 of the Trifecta. Today is going to be a normal episode. I'm joined by someone who is not eating Popeyes tonight.
Nope. I'm Dave.
All right, and we have Dave back again.
I'm Dave. That's Dave too. I get the paychecks.
And
that's just how it goes.
Still not letting you call the police.
I'm still gonna try.
I'm farting in that chair, even if you're sitting in it.
Speaking of farting, offshoregamescast.com/game of the year 2022. Go there, check it out. All sorts of good stuff. This is weird. It's a normal episode. This doesn't happen that much nowadays.
No, it doesn't. But we do have a flavor-packed one to boot because we have a bunch of games to talk about each.
A lot. Should I just kick us off?
Why not? Start us off with the game that you've already talked about.
Escape Academy?
No.
I don't think I've talked about the Callisto Protocol. Have I?
I think you have.
I'm pretty sure I haven't.
Well, if we go back, I swear to God you just said the Callisto Protocol, so I swear I heard it.
I don't... No, I don't think so.
You didn't just say Callisto Protocol a few seconds ago?
Oh, that I did. I haven't talked about it on the show before.
Are you not talking about it on the show?
Oh, you're pissing me off.
Oh, I just got you in a loophole.
It's a death loop. Now I get it now. I love that game.
Damn, are you single?
Callisto Protocol. All right. This game wasn't received very well critically. You got some very mediocre reviews, and I kind of agree with it. All right. This is a very action-heavy game. I thought there is maybe going to be more to the narrative, maybe more spooks. It's like just combat. It was never scary at any point. I wasn't.
No.
I never got had by a single jump scare. It is kind of, there's gore, so if lots of blood creeps you out, then it's got that. Nah. But combat is fun. It's challenging. It's a hard game. But it is okay. So the basic loot, it's a lot of melee because you need to kind of scavenge for ammo.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an inventory limit, so you can only hold so much stuff, and that limit doesn't really get much bigger. So it's mostly just physical combat with like your shock thing, and you're using the joystick to go left and right, and you have to alternate to dodge attacks. So if you're being attacked, you hold down left and like L2, and it dodges to the left. And if you're getting attacked again, you have to hold the stick to the right, and you dodge to the right. You kind of keep doing that until they stop attacking you, and then you can start wailing on them until they try attacking you again.
Interesting form of combat.
Yeah, it feels good when you get it down. I wasn't using... Do you remember in all the trailers that like anti-gravity gun where you can like pick enemies up and throw them?
Yeah.
So early on in the game, when you get that, it sucks.
Yeah.
All the heavier enemies you can't really do anything with, and the charge on it is you can't just infinitely use it. You can maybe throw like 2, maybe 3 enemies, and then that's it. You try to toss them after that. You can maybe pull them towards you, and then they just drop right in front of you because you run out.
Weird.
It's not
fun.
No, it was mostly helpful in stealth. Without getting into spoilers, there's enemies in the game that are basically clickers from The Last of Us that can't see you, but they can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
But you can like throw them into spikes and not be detected. That was that was the most use I found for the glove.
Okay.
Uh, the jump scares were all insanely predictable. Like walking down a corridor and us being able to just be like, jump scare is going to come at it right there, and it does, and we're just like, yep, there it was. That's it.
Yeah.
The story was basically, it felt like a constant excuse to go from point A to point B. You get to point B, you usually meet someone, immediately have to split up for whatever reason, and it's like, ugh, I got to get back to them now. And that just happens like 5 times throughout the game.
That's boring.
Yes. The death animations, maybe I was just dying in boring ways constantly, because that was like part of the whole thing is, hey, if you die, at least you're gonna get a cool, unique death animation.
Mm-hmm.
I got all of my deaths were some form of my head being smashed in on the ground.
Yeah.
Slightly different depending on the enemy. That was it. I didn't get anything cooler than that.
I was afraid that they weren't really going to live up to some sort of big, exciting mechanic or part of the game. And the fact that they're trying to, as a season pass or just like a roadmap, add more death animations that more people aren't going to care about.
Yeah, especially I don't really see much of a reason to go back to this game unless you were like really into the combat. I
Yeah.
will also say, outside of the final boss, there were just a couple mini bosses along the way. There was kind of like an earlier boss thing, and then a late game boss, and then otherwise every single mini boss is just the same one repeated. That just
No,
occasionally, like,
that's
it's not even like the same creature. Like, you kill it, and then an hour later you're gonna do another boss. It's just the same thing again.
like they made this game in 2 years and just kind of replaced and like slapped things around.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. I still want to
Um,
try it, but that's annoying.
yeah, it disappointed me. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly don't think it's a bad game. It's just not what I wanted it to be. It's an enjoyable, challenging action game more than anything.
Okay.
That's Callisto Protocol. It turns out I agree with the critics on this one. That's rare.
Well, that honestly that is rare because a lot of critics' opinions are not what the fans think.
Yep.
I
Maybe I'm just a critic now.
well, that's kind of what we are.
Kind of, yeah.
I played through and ended up beating one game, and that was Somerville.
Ooh.
I ended up just sitting down, having a few hours, and downloading it off Game Pass. To which, oh my god, I just want to say Game Pass is going to be giving us some beautiful games this upcoming next 6 months, and I cannot wait. The fact that I won't have to
Yeah,
spend
it's
any money, and it's just going to be AAA after AAA, and just hit.
a lot of the like best indies throughout the year also are just on Game Pass,
Mm-hmm.
which is also awesome. All right, tell me about it.
It's
You like it?
it's great. I think I liked it. I think overall it wasn't enough to stand out to really kind of like overlook Limbo or Inside for me. And I feel like when it even comes to those games, it's like it took me a while to play and finish Limbo. Inside was fun. It was sort of like a different view. I haven't played Silt yet, and you can almost kind of say
Don't
Brothers. You can almost kind
don't
of
play
say
Silt.
Brothers is that similar sort of game, but more of like a isometric instead of like it's the camera angles is always weird when it comes to these type of games. But the story starts off with you are sitting there with your family, your wife, dog, and your kid, and lights are happening. You're kind of getting these weird visions. Weird things are going on. You're going up and down to the basement to hide, and it just kind of keeps resetting. And then you go back and you're kind of redoing the same thing over again. You start exploring and you can't find your kid or your wife anymore. It's just you and the dog just kind of going through, doing the standard puzzles, just lifting things, moving thing here and there until you get this sort of weird gauntlet power where using the lights you can either cast a blue or a red glow in order to have whatever like powers there. Like if there's a wall blocking you, you can shine the blue light to have it sort of melt so you can get past it, or the red light to kind of like harden it. You can do that against enemies. You have to like harden them or make them explode and melt or whatever. So you use a lot of those to get through the puzzles. But I feel like after the overall narrative from playing around, because there's no dialogue, you're just kind of walking through a lot of visual body language stuff, it was more so fine. And I feel like the narrative as it went on towards whatever the ending wasn't cool enough compared to some of the other ones, like Inside. Like you turn into this big crazy person ball and you're rolling around, and Inside in this you're
Yeah,
kind of in like an alien simulation, like aliens took over, you're just kind of like in a simulation stuck. I feel like that's cool. It's fine.
I like the word you're using.
Yeah.
Is it Somerville is just an uncool game.
Like it's I had a fun time with it the few hours. I like these types of games and I'm looking for just more. Like I expected this game to be a lot bigger, a lot more like show offy, standoutish, because I feel like it was marketed really well. But at the end,
It was, yeah.
I I think the art style is very nice. I like the drab colors to set the mood and just how things felt. Some of the puzzles were very simple. Some of them were overcomplicated. My biggest issue has got to be just understanding the depth and like of how far your character can walk on the screen as well as the camera, because there were times where you are running from something and you can easily get stuck on very stupid things that should not
Mm.
have happened, to make you restart an entire section to go through
Mm-hmm.
again. Just kind of getting
That could
stuck
get
in general and
frustrating.
not knowing where to go or what I'm doing. Towards the second half of the game, it really started to pick up action wise. And you're kind of going from like the first half is like you're surviving, you're just kind of making from A to B, and it turns a lot more action. You're running around, you meet up with your family again, it's back and forth, you're trying to take out some of the enemies, not in like a shooty way, but like through puzzles and other stuff, but like expedient enough to keep going on with the urgency of what's happening. But I thought it's a fine game. I gave it a 7. Had a very
All
cool,
right.
strong opening, but it was just another one of these boys.
Okay, well, seven's not bad. The fact that it's only a few hours still makes me want to play it at some point.
Yeah, I think it's worth like a fun playthrough if you're into these kind of games. I don't think it's amazing. Like even like I don't even think Limbo or Inside are amazing, but I feel like I'd like them better than this one.
It's blasphemy.
Yeah, I don't know. I like other puzzle games. Fight me physically at the
I
flagpole.
won't. I'm not gonna do that because I've also never played Inside or Limbo, so I'm not gonna
Judge
fight you on
Mania
that.
2023.
Judge Mania?
Yeah.
Is that like WrestleMania?
Yeah, but you're judgy right now.
I'm down for Judge Mania 2023.
That's basically what our fucking game of the year is. Judge Mania
Yeah,
2023.
we should.
Hosts
All right,
Dylan and Dave
help
take
me
on
not
the
forget
biggest
this.
hits.
Yeah,
Judge
help me
Mania.
not forget this. Yeah,
Oh
2020,
boy.
the end of this year, our game of the year is going to be Judge Mania 2023, and it's going to have the style of wrestling. It's going to have the sound of wrestling. Yeah,
You can
I
have
like
Corey
it.
come up with a new like intro musics for each of us.
Yeah, we have our entrances. Oh, I am so on board for this.
All right. We'll pre-record like a narration of me behind it, and we'll do other stuff with it.
Yeah, we'll have promos. This will be good. Don't forget this. Because you know I'm
We'll
going
put
to
up
forget it, so
TikToks.
don't
It'll be
forget it.
everything. All right.
Yeah,
You'll go back to this
this is it.
episode and just write down, "This is amazing. Look at these ideas."
Yeah, these ideas are incredible.
Good.
Speaking of
We'll
incredible,
definitely get the
how about
wrestling
some Marvel
things.
Snap?
Oh, I've also played Marvel Snap. What a good way for us to get 2 games out of the way for both of us, but also talk in depth about something that we both enjoyed together.
Wow, that's the show. That's why we're here.
But we did it. We got Dylan to play Marvel Snap. The end of the year came, and I finally got him into it. I didn't
I mean,
expect it to
yep,
last forever, but I got him.
yeah, you did. It's like once game of the year, once most of that work was done, I was like, all right, I got some time now. I don't have to stress too much. I could just play this. It's good. It is very good.
Mhm.
It's incredibly addicting.
It really
Uh,
is.
I have already kind of fallen off, but that's kind of what I do with mobile games. I obsess with it for a couple of weeks and then just stop.
Mhm.
So that's not a. I didn't like put it down of like I'm done with this game. That's just how I do mobile games typically.
Mhm.
All right. Let's talk about my deck. We don't need to go over the game. You did that. You did that already.
20
I was
minutes.
using an ongoing deck. That's what I called it. So Spectrum is what my big end game card was. So cost 6, but it gives all your ongoing cards plus 2 power. And I just made my entire deck ongoing cards with ongoing
Mhm.
abilities.
We're talking
Uh,
Captain America, Blue Marvel.
yep. Which one is Blue Marvel? The one that gives +1 to all cards.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, Captain America, Blue Marvel, they're all in there. But oh man, having Blue Marvel on turn 5 and then turn 6, putting out
Yep.
it's just you can boost those stats up like crazy.
Let me guess. You got Mr. Fantastic. You throw in the middle.
Yep, I do that.
Yep. Uh, Claw. You got Claw.
Is Claw the one that shoots like +4 to the right?
Yes.
Yep, I got him.
Knew it. That's not bad. It's very simple, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure that there's like way crazier decks you can make, but I unlocked Spectrum as a 6 cost. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try something here, and honestly, I win more than I lose with it.
It's you go on streak sometimes, and you find that good
Totally.
medium, and you go like I'm rocking a Jaime deck right now, a little Heimdall action going on.
Did you say Heine?
Jaime
Uh,
with
Heine?
an
Are you saying Heine?
M.
Jaime.
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 I don't know Jaime. I don't know what you're
He-
saying to me.
Heimdall. He was the one who shifts all the cards to the left at the end of the game.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I have a very move focused deck. So like my big ones are Iron Fist, which moves the next card you play 1 to the left. So I'll either play Vulture or Human Torch. When either of those move, Vulture gets +5. Human Torch doubles his power. So I'll do that. Maybe I'll
Mm.
put down Doctor Strange, which will take your highest powered card and move it to its location. So I can either get +5 or double it again. I could throw down Cloak, which I can just move them freely to Cloak's location, do that. And then right at the end, once I have a nice build up and no one throws a fucking Shang-Chi at me, I put down Heimdall and it shifts all my cards 1 to the left. And so all my things are getting plussed up and whatnot. I'll throw
You can
on
also
Hulkbuster
that probably
onto that to double that even more.
fakes them out a bit too, because like it'll look like you're going for the location all the way on the right. So maybe they like double down on that spot, and all of a sudden you're like, "Fuck it."
Yep. Oh, that was happening. That happened to me earlier. They'll just like, all right, I'll do this, and like they'll move their cards over and like try to hype up, and I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna swipe these two. Easy, thank you.
That deck seems like it has way greater potential than mine.
I initially started it to be a Silver Surfer deck based off the last season, so I called it Surfs Up. Except I barely had him work with what I had set up, so I got rid of him, and now it's still my move Jaime deck, but it's still called Surfs Up.
You just leave it in a Surfs Up.
Don't feel like changing it.
Um, the loop is good. You constantly feel like you're making progress
Mm-hmm.
because it's just between the season pass and the daily challenges or the weekly challenges, you're also constantly getting the currency to upgrade your cards. When you upgrade your cards, your collection level goes up, which unlocks
Mhm.
more shit for you to do. It's just it's a great loop, but it's all so quick.
It's very quick. And you get to the point where you're like, all right, I'm not getting boosters for the one card that I want to upgrade. So I'm just getting a bunch of stuff for other ones. So now I have a bunch of credits and I'll just level up my collection level a lot because I have a whole
Yep.
bunch of dudes I can level up just because fuck it.
Yeah, it's pretty much if I can level up a card, I just do it because there's no reason not to.
Mm. I like seeing the numbers jump up very fast. So I'll save up like 1 to 2,000 credits and then just boom, 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 boom.
I have seen, because you've sent me a screenshot, I have seen like the little red bubble in your collection, and it's like a bunch could be upgraded. And
Yeah.
I never have anything there because as soon as I can, I just do it.
Oh yeah, my average of what can be upgraded is anywhere from like 104 to 116 cards.
Oh, I can't live your life.
I leave because I'm waiting. Well, I focus on upgrading the ones to get to the holographics for whatever deck that I'm playing. So like if I'll get a bunch of
Okay.
boosters, I won't use them because I either won't use that deck or that card in that deck yet, or just like I what's the point? I'll just save it till I can make all my cards look nice and pretty.
Okay. I respect it. I just can't live
Hmm.
my life like that, but I respect
I
it.
know. All the other
Um,
little notification things I get rid of because it just means new things for me.
yeah. I do really like how you can, if you see that like shit, things are not going good, they just snapped, my hand's not good. I
Mm,
like that you could just bail out. You only lose one, whatever they're called.
1 cubes, 2 tops.
Yeah. And it makes losing like you don't feel as shitty about it because you're not
Yeah.
just stuck in like, oh, they're just gonna kick my ass. I have to sit here and take it. It's
Hmm.
no, you could just escape, and it's like, oh, I barely lost anything. And just get right into the next match. It's not too bad.
It's fun some of the missions too, because it's like here's a season pass mission: make someone retreat.
Yeah, that's yep,
So I'll wait to the end of a match, and then I'll snap, and then I'll be like, "Come on, come on."
yeah,
I might even be bluffing, but I'm just like I'm just trying to finish a mission here.
yeah,
Leave.
yep. It's good. I don't know when I'm gonna play it again, but it's good.
Hopefully there'll be a little slum, and you'll just hop on it and start getting excited again. The new season just dropped, so I've been playing that. The new Savage Land with all about Khazar, Zabu, and Storm.
Those are X-Men.
Well, Khazar might be. I don't know. He's just a guy. Zabu, I guess, is one of Khazar's friends. His little
Okay.
cat, lion, saber-toothed tiger, and then Storm is just like an old caveman version of her. But Zabu, it makes all your 4 cost cards cost 2 less.
So you could have a deck full of 4 cost cards. You could play multiple at once.
So we're talking like Warpath. We're talking Claw. Like you could play some pretty strong cards that take over like a specific area like very quick just by being caught like on turn 5 after playing Zabu. Play those two and then like I don't know, just like a random 1 cost card or something like an Electra to take out someone else or something and then boom. So much.
Electra pisses me off.
I used an electric for so long because she's very useful, very strong against Sunspot. Such a pain in the ass of Sunspot, or if you're going up against the Human Torch.
I use Ant-Man in my deck as because it's ongoing and I almost always fill up a spot, so it just like buffs it up.
Hmm.
And then all it takes is one fucking Electra, and that whole plan is ruined. It's
Yep,
gone out the window.
it
I
can be
hate
very
Electra.
annoying. A lot of my 1 cost cards are mainly on reveal, so like once they do their thing, I don't really care about them anymore.
I don't. No, never mind. Never mind. That would have been a lie. Just not gonna say I'm not a liar.
I don't know. I think you are.
All right, Dave, hit me with another game.
Okay, so another game. I played and beat another game.
You what?
I played and beat another game.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know what it could be.
It's High on Life.
Ooh. All right, real quick.
Yes.
Before you get into it, did you play
Yes.
it on Xbox or PC?
Xbox. Why would I play it on PC?
Okay, my girlfriend is playing it on PC, and has been having a lot of trouble with the game actually working.
Uh-oh. No, I've had a perfectly fine time.
Okay, it's like every time she gets to a new area, an error message appears, and she could still play, but with this big error message in the middle of the screen, and nothing fixes it.
Yeah, I have no idea. That just sounds like a terrible port issue because I've had
Yeah.
nothing like that on Xbox. Maybe the game's crashed once or whatever, but other than that, it's fine.
All right, tell me about it now.
High on Life is a very Rick and Morty game. And we knew that going into it, so if you are not a Rick and Morty fan, this is probably not for you. But as a fun little shooter, it's kind of like a mix between Journey to the Savage Planet meets Doom sort of deal, where you're just kind of like running around taking out enemies and just trying to clear a stage and get to the end. But just everything is so cartoony and it just feels very Journey to the Savage Planet. Like even the items you use and just to like the weapons, the guns talking to you. So it starts off with this like funny like retro shooter parody where you're kind of like running around in like an old Doom video game shooting and whatnot. And then you kind of get pulled out and see that aliens are taking over. There's a lot of aliens going on in this episode. They are taking over and you run and it's just you and your sister, and for some reason the animations are they're pretty smooth and very nice as like the cutscenes playing, even like as you're walking around and it's not in a full cutscene. Like it's facial animations as it looks good because it's more cartoony, but it's good.
Okay.
It's not janky, it's not bad.
Yeah.
But you guys are talking and the house ends up getting teleported
Hate when that
after
happens.
yeah, very Zathura. After you come across Kenny, one of the weapons who was dropped by the aliens that you were fighting out in your cul-de-sac, and he is like your main talking gun that you find. He's
Is
a
that like it's the
semi-auto.
blue one, right?
Yes. He's the main Justin Roiland gun.
Gotcha.
He is a Gatlian, and that is a race, a species, and from the planet uh, Gatlia or whatever, that the people who are coming to the Earth to smoke people have already gone to that planet and destroyed it.
Okay, so talking guns are Gatlians, and they're like, "Fuck these assholes."
Yeah, so they're trying to get back and save the humans from getting smoked up.
Okay.
So that kind of has its own subplot going on narratively, but you keep playing. Your house gets teleported, and you start running missions from this dude who you kind of make a bet with, and you get your suit from, and he's now living in your house and making decisions and shit. And you kind of just adopt this homeless alien to be your buddy, and he's helping you out doing your missions and stuff. So he installs this sort of bounty hunter teleporter portal for you to complete your missions, but then go to each of the planets to take out whoever is in your way, little bounties and whatnot to get more information. And you're coming across other Gatlians. Like there's a shotgun who I took me so long, but apparently is voiced by Tim Robinson, which is amazing. I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out. Another gun, I can't remember their name, but it's basically the Needler from Halo.
Okay. I
It
never
sends like a
liked the Needler.
powerful, yeah, you fill them up with the needles and then you send a powerful needle that at them and then it makes the other needles explode. The shotgun can suck enemies towards you and then you can shoot them up close, and also sends out um I think just a few shots to take them out, but it's very strong. um you get Creature's the one who's voiced by Tim Robinson, not the shotgun. He has little like Mr. Meeseeks looking babies up top as his ammo, and you can shoot them as ammo, but you can also shoot them at the enemy, and then it runs up and starts attacking them and biting them. and you could send a bunch of them, and they could just respawn and like reload. And there's a special pink one that you can shoot that takes over the enemy and has them fight for you.
That one sounds interesting. So you could use them as bullets or kind of like units for you.
Yeah, and they'll just constantly keep attacking. And for some of the bosses, it's very strong and useful.
Can you switch guns and then they're still out like attacking?
Attacking, yes.
Okay, yeah, that sounds super useful.
Oh yeah. And then there's one more that you get later in the game whose name is Let's Do It. Or Let's Do
That's
It.
the name?
He's like the Groot. That's all he says is Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a little messed up, so to say.
So
He's been through the ringer.
How is obviously I'm sure it's a very comedy driven game. I think that, going into it, you know what to expect if you know who this is made by.
Mm-hmm.
But is there like a good narrative throughout that? Like, did you actually care about any of the characters or anything, or was it just like, I'm here for a good time?
Personally, it was I'm here for a good time. I
Okay.
feel like the narrative that it gave going over the Gatlians, and then you kind of find out something about Kenny and like his involvement with it. But it really happens so close towards the end that the majority of it is, oh, there's a bad guy and he's taking humans to smoke them. We got to stop him. And then you kind of find out a bunch of stuff in like the last quarter of the game. So it wasn't necessarily paced well, but it was a good time. I had a good time playing it. I don't think it's
Okay.
amazing. I don't think it's done anything that hasn't either been done before, and I think the biggest grab to it is its comedy and whatnot. Like, it has some pretty fun fourth wall breaking jokes. Like, they make a joke about bad game design, and they're like, "Oh, Polygon, IGN, you got to give us some
I
points
saw
off for
that.
that."
Yeah.
Yeah, but I gave it a 7. I thought it was a fine game. That was one I was excited for a while, and it satisfied and scratched that itch. Now it's time to move on.
Cool. Did you see it did like insanely well with Game Pass?
Oh yeah, no, it was nuts, and I think a lot of things that they did with the game are really cool. Like the fact that there's like 14 to 16 actual full films in there that you could just
Yeah,
watch.
that's
Like in between the bounties, you just come back and like your hub is the dude sitting on the couch, and your sister sitting behind the couch at like the little open window bar thing just to sit there, and you could just sit down on the couch and just watch either black and white or just full movies, and just that's it.
that's I like things like that.
It's cool.
All right. Let's move on to some Darktide.
Darktide, I want to play
Do
it.
you like Left 4 Dead?
Yeah,
Do you like Vermintide?
I thought it was good.
You'd probably like Darktide.
I want to play Darktide.
It is just, it's one of those, but I will say it's the most fun I've had playing one of those since like OG Left 4 Dead.
It's got shooty, so that's why I got excited. Because I don't care
It
too
does
much
have
about
shooty.
Vermintide's melee.
No, I think that's why I'm enjoying this more than I enjoyed Vermintide 2 just fine, but I'm definitely enjoying this more. I'm enjoying this more than Back for Blood. Probably tied with the Anacrusis. But no, it's good. I like they're doing things a little different. I like a couple of them. Like you can straight up create your character, like their race, what they look like all that fun stuff. You can create some interesting things where like in your party you kind of go through it like down on a drop ship to go do a mission, and someone's talking to you and you have your crew there, and if someone's, I don't know what they are, I don't know my Warhammer ship, but one of them, it's like they're like big orcs,
Okay.
and I'm just like a human dude, and the big orc thing is like 5 times your size, so it's just this huge guy sitting next to him, and you're just like,
Hello.
okay. Which I don't know, it's just kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
They do try to kind of lean into more of a narrative with having straight up cutscenes. I ended up completely not caring about them and skipping them after a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
They have a hub area. It kind of feels like they're trying to be a little Destiny like. it's so not needed because it is just to jump around between shops, and I would much rather that just be a menu.
I mean, Vermintide did the same thing. It just gives you an extra thing to do.
Yeah, it does. I would still rather it be a menu, especially with how long, at least on PC, which both my girlfriend and I had this problem on PC. Load times are long, like
Uh-oh.
kind of obnoxiously long. So I would rather just not have the hub area altogether and just jump right into a menu and then get to the next mission.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I do like it pretty much after every single mission that is like a successful run that you don't all die on. Uh, you're usually able to get a new weapon or a new perk for your weapon or anything like that. You're constantly upgrading, or you can
Mm-hmm.
constantly upgrade, which is it feels good after like every single successful mission. Missions are on like a rotation. There's maybe 10 or so at a time you can choose from, all with different difficulty levels. The most we were able to do was level 3. Level 4 we were not ready for. It's out of 5.
Okay.
4 we would get fucked up on. But it's good. It's a totally enjoyable game to just jump in for a little bit with some peeps and just run some missions, and that's that. The missions do take quite a while.
Yeah, 45
Yeah,
minutes hour-wise.
uh probably like between 30 to 45 minutes for each one.
Okay, that's not bad.
No. But there's nothing groundbreaking with it really. It is
Yeah.
it's that. It's exactly that, but it feels good.
Okay. It's another one I want to try.
Yeah, Game Pass. It helps you try things.
It
Turns out
really
it's a
does.
good thing.
Yeah, probably this upcoming week or so I'll end up playing it.
It's good. I would totally be down to play with you at some point.
We'll have to do that.
We don't have to.
We don't. I'm busy anyway.
Yeah, me too.
Good. And one of the things I've been busy doing is playing more God of War. I'm about
You finished it.
I'm about halfway through it
Oh,
because I forgot it is a long game. It's like a good 30
yeah.
odd hour game. I'm like
Yeah.
14, 15-ish hours in. And I mean, I feel like the biggest thing I could say about it, it is no longer just Kratos' game. It has jumped back and forth a decent amount between Atreus and Kratos to give Atreus some pretty good time in the spotlight. Like it's
Hmm.
pretty big narrative story sections that are just fun to play around. He's got his own little smaller skill tree and combat flow that does work. He's a lower level and can't really do as much, but he's still fun. And just like Kratos, you can mix around the combat and do some really cool things with him, especially with some of the skills you can get later on. And even like his arrows you use, you can get new arrows later in the game to really expand more into the combat. There's so much to it, but I'm like the narrative with the first game leading up to the shrine saying that Kratos is gonna die and then just kind of leaving it at that. I can't say more into it mainly because I'm still playing through it, but you do see more of that prophecy and you figure out how to access more of it. And on his own accord, Atreus, in his fashion, has been going off to try to do things himself because there's a bigger feud happening between boy and dad. Because he just wants to be included and dad doesn't trust him, but he's not letting dad in. So dad's getting mad and bad things are happening. And so now he's just kind of off doing a bad thing. Dad doesn't
Oh,
know.
you don't say.
He's kind of continuing the prophecy, and that might not be good, but he's trying to find a way to stop it.
Okay. I wonder. So maybe I'm wrong, but hasn't it been said that like this is the last of the Norse games?
It's been so long, I don't remember. Like, Kratos doesn't have to die in this game,
No.
but if he does, he does. Like,
I mean,
But I feel
so
like
like
if he would, I feel like I would have heard about it by now.
yeah, so like I'm sure the end of this game probably makes the future of the series a little clearer.
I mean,
At
you're
least,
going up against Odin. Like,
right? You can't get
what
much bigger than that in
what
Norse
else can you
mythology.
do? Yeah,
Like, so if this is like, but they're building like it feels like either Atreus dies
which I don't
or
think you will.
no, or Kratos dies.
Which he doesn't have to.
But then what? Atreus goes on to non-Norse areas because God of War is not just going to stop. They're going to keep
Demigod of
making.
War.
Yeah. All right, no, maybe that's it. Maybe Kratos has to leave for whatever reason, and then he's off doing other. What was it? Was like
Kratos
Egyptian,
things.
right? That
Yeah,
was
Egyptian
the hint.
and Chinese or old Asian or something.
Okay, so maybe that's, and then they have Demigod of War, which is Atreus
Yeah,
doing, I don't
PlayStation
know.
doing a big game and then like a little smaller standalone DLC.
It's like Miles Morales,
Yeah.
but it's Demigod of War Atreus.
I mean, I would play it. I feel like that would be too much like everything else PlayStation is doing, and it'll make it so oversaturated with like, hey,
Sure,
look, here's our formula. Big game, you like it? Smaller game that you're happy with, but you just want more. But yeah, you're
sure.
buying it.
I mean, yeah, that is all correct, and I think we would both buy it.
Yeah. I
I
like
gotta
the
get
story
that.
though. It's evolving very nicely, but there's still so much more to have happen. But there's still it's not like a slow game either. Like it still continues the big bumps and big waves that the first God of War had, and still gets you going, still gets you feeling good with some of those big action sequences and boss fights. Because every big moment like that has a twist, and you don't necessarily see it coming, and it's cool. And then you're off doing something else.
Cool. I gotta play it. I
You
want
do.
to.
I gotta finish it. It's good, but it's a big game.
All right. I started the chant.
I wanna know more about this.
It's it's not bad. So the main premise of the game is you had something traumatic happen. It's kind of like talked about and revealed more throughout the game. But you're like, I need a getaway. And an old friend of yours went to like leave for an island and basically be all like meditation, peace, one with nature, all that good stuff.
Hmm.
So you contact them, you're like, I need some of that in my life. Can I come for just like a little getaway? And they're like, oh yeah, of course. It's a cult. It's it's a cult. Just straight
Be-
up cult.
Beachy Midsommar.
Uh kind of, honestly. They all like it is straight up like they're all wearing the same white clothes and
Good.
all that good stuff. Guru Tyler is the leader who is in
No.
way over his head.
Oh
And
no.
my little brother being named Tyler. All
Yep.
I can think about is it being him, and it makes it very funny.
That's the first thing I pictured was him wearing
It,
white and be or whatever,
I mean,
just going around.
it looks nothing like him,
No,
but
I don't imagine so.
you find plenty of like notes and stuff like that to read, and it's all about like, are you ready for Guru Tyler to bring you to prosperity and stuff? And I'm just picturing my brother, and it's just, yeah, I kind of can't get past it, but it makes it entertaining.
He sounds like a nonsense character. Like it makes me think of Coach Frank from Skate 3.
So he is like the leader of the cult, but there is some like I don't know if other realm. Yeah, that's kind of like another realm, like a spiritual realm, if you will, with these creatures, and they were doing some sort of ritual to break that down, and it goes into detail kind of later on in the game
Hmm.
that I'm not gonna get too into, but it explains all that. But he was in way over his head. He didn't really. It's clear he didn't start this cult. It seems like his parents did.
Hmm.
Um, and he's
Didn't
just
want to
kind of like
take up the
trying to continue it.
business.
Yeah, of course, the family cult business.
Wanted to play the sax. Ended up being a cult leader.
It happens.
It happens.
But that barrier between the two realms, if you will, is just down. There's bad shit everywhere.
Uh-oh.
It's kind of like Callisto Protocol. This is way more of an action game than I was expecting.
Interesting.
It is almost that like Resident Evil like of like you're constantly trying to scrounge together resources. You always seem to just have enough to get through the combat encounters, but it sure is cutting it close sometimes.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been too difficult so far. Uh, it there it can be a little annoying, specifically with one thing that it does do the thing of there's this one specific enemy at small times throughout the game that will just kind of follow you, and
Mm-hmm.
you can fight them off, and it makes them go away for like a minute, and then they just kind of respawn. It has been in very like small parts, like once you're done with an area and you're working on unlocking something or doing something to get to the next, it will be
Mm-hmm.
there. It
Okay.
hasn't been too annoying, but I just in general don't really like that game
Some games
mechanic.
do it better.
So I was fine with it in like Resident Evil Village, but that's because it was a very like it was just kind of like one small part of the game.
Yeah, I think the best that did it was probably Resident Evil 7 with the dad.
Yes. Also, it's same idea where it's just like it's a very small part of the game. It's not constantly happening.
Yeah.
Like I hate it in Resident Evil 2. When all I want to do is explore this goddamn police station and it's fucking nonstop.
Yeah, that's annoying.
But I not done with it yet. It's enjoyable. Animation wise, I'm not gonna go as far as to say graphically, but the way like people move is kind of like 360 PS3 era.
Stiffer.
And yeah, it's not the smoothest animations, and it's very easy to just overlook that. It kind of adds a little charm to it, if anything. But
Okay.
it's certainly not like a big AAA modern polished game.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't had like actual technical issues of like frame drops or the game crash. Nothing, none of that stuff.
Okay, well, that's good.
Everything is working properly.
It seems like a short game.
It, yes. Like, I don't know what happens after I'm like trying to collect all these things to kind of get the ritual back up and running. So you have to like go to each of the characters basically that got scattered throughout this island.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already done two of them, and I have mine, and I have someone else. So like, there's pretty much only one other person I think it could be that I have to go get, maybe two, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not super long. It's not super. It's not like a few hours, but it seems probably to be, I would guess, around a 10-hour game.
Okay.
It's fun though.
It's probably a better island game than that one Dead Island title, Escape Dead Island.
Probably, sure. I didn't play
That was
that
a
one.
bad game.
Then this is definitely better. The Chant is not a bad game. It's an all right game.
Is it a time
It's not.
loop?
Not that I know of.
It might be.
I mean, there's still some mysteries that need answering.
Ooh.
So I don't know, but it doesn't seem like that's the direction they're going with.
Okay, if you say so.
I do. I'm the Chant expert. I haven't beaten it yet, but I'm an expert.
Soon. 2 more hours.
No, definitely more than that.
Okay, 3.
Probably still more than that.
6.
Nah, probably less than that.
See, I'm done. I'm bored.
Then why don't you talk about something else?
I started a new game because we were talking about it, and then Emily said, "Why don't you try it?" And now I'm addicted, and I knew it was going to happen.
Uh-oh. What is it?
It's Hades.
Ooh, I knew about that. You told me about that.
Yeah, I got excited.
I forgot about it until now, though.
We were recording our other episode, and you were like, "Did you play this yet?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah.
But I did the day before.
It's good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that I would get hooked and sucked in. I just had to wait, and like it just fell upon me. I said, "Fine, I'll try it." And I feel like it's not a bad time right now, but I got immediately once I understood the loop of like how the
Mm-hmm.
rooms work and the boons and everything else. And that I even started the past few nights I've been playing a few matches of Slay the Spire just because it got me in that mood again of just running through those kind of roguelikes.
Yeah, I can see it.
But I've been running through this, and apparently on my third try was my one of my best so far. I got all the way up to the third area's boss, to which I think just last night I passed him for the first
Nice.
time, and I got to area 4, and then I died shortly after. But
Yeah,
I've been making it far, and it feels good, and I've been
it
using the
does.
spear and just the right boons and whatnot. You could just extremely destroy so
Yeah,
fast.
when you get a good combination and a good run, it could be very powerful.
I got 2 death defiances, so I could bring my health back. I do a lot of health building all the way up, and that way, even when I die, it just comes right back. So I'm like, get past Meg, get past the fucking bone,
Yep.
uh, snake,
Yeah,
the
basically.
Hydra. Ah,
Yeah.
I love it. And now Hades 2 is coming out, and it usually how it happens either when a sequel gets announced or it's coming
Sure.
out. I'm like,
Yeah.
let me try the first one, and I love it. It's great, and I'm excited to get past it. You didn't finish it yet?
No, I've it's not exactly a spoiler because we've talked about it back when I played it in like season 1,
Yeah,
but uh so you do have to beat the game or like finish a run multiple times to actually beat a game
right.
or to beat the game, like the overall plot, which I won't get into why. Um but I've finished a few runs, I think 3 maybe.
Okay. How many worlds are
I
there? 4 or 5?
I don't remember.
Okay.
That's yeah, Google can answer that.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google it.
I want to say you was it kind of like a greenish bluish grass on the ground everywhere.
That I think is Elysium. There's 4 total. The Temple of Styx is the last one.
Okay. The last boss is not easy.
No, I mean, just getting up to the third boss isn't easy. He was
No.
tough, but I was somehow able to get past.
I want to go back and finish. I mean, it would be tough to like get back in the swing of things at this point, I'm sure, cuz it's been quite a while, but
Yeah,
I want to go back and finish that game. It's really good.
I'll probably be stuck on it for a good another week or two, or until I beat it or do at least a full run. Because I'm just like I go through. I'm like, let me just do a run and collect some keys so I can do some upgrades and whatnot. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm 230 health, 2 death defiances, and I'm coming up to the third boss of the third like area, and I'm just like, all right, I might as well
Yeah.
just see what I can do. I might as well just try.
Yeah, that's what a lot of the runs end up being like, see what happens.
Yep.
I so I know we talked about it with our Game Awards thing. I don't know who this new protagonist is. I don't know if that's revealed at some point in the game, maybe at the end, or if it's just I don't know. I don't know.
I don't remember, but it looks like fun. I'm curious what their powers and whatnot are going to be.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I do know that I finished Escape Academy.
Ooh, and
It's good. I mean, you did tell me the narrative ending, like the spoiler, so that wasn't a big shock to me.
mm,
Um, but it is so good. It's such a fun game. There needs to be more games like this. I didn't know if you know there's a DLC apparently. There's like
mm,
Escape Island or something.
really?
Uh I want to check that out. I want to jump back in and play through that. Um I no need to get deep into the game. We've talked about it a few times. I give it overall an 8 out of 10. My biggest issue with co-op is that disconnection issues kind of kept happening to the
Mm-hmm.
point where we would have to restart both of our games, launch it back up, and hope it worked then. And that happened quite a few times.
Yeah.
That was my biggest issue with the game. Otherwise, whole lot of fun.
It really stuck out for me. Like once I started playing it, it was one of those games that held a lot of hype for me, and just still kept me excited all throughout. It's fun. It's just that's the kind of puzzle I've been waiting for. That just fun brain teaser.
If they came out with a new Escape Academy every year and you're just a new student going through the academy, but it's just different puzzles, I would love that.
Oh yeah. And I love the badges too. Like I would love to have a physical of like the badges and everything. But just give me more seasons, give me another year, give me Escape Academy Part 2 or whatever. I like it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I do hope they make a sequel to it.
Please. It needs more, definitely.
Do you have any more games?
Not really. Like I said, I played some Slay the Spire. Haven't really done too much else. Just trying to play more God of War when I can. Like a little bit of Call of Duty multiplayer here and there, but just kind of getting my life ready for all life stuff, because life sucks and it never stops.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Turns out life stuff can get in the way of the fun stuff, like video games.
Remember when you wanted to be an adult? You don't. Your brain's not developed. You're an idiot. I'm gonna call you that because I know it. I've been there. Stay a small baby forever. It's better that way.
I want to go back to being like 22.
No, there's still taxes you have to pay at 22.
There is, but I felt like I was still innocent.
Yeah, you were not. You were guilty as charged, my good friend.
Now I'm guilty as charged. That's for sure.
I know. Oh my god, and your birthday's coming up.
It is. I'm gonna be gone.
You are gonna be old.
Yeah, I don't like talking about it. I have 1 year and 5 days left of my 20s. I don't like that. I don't like that one little bit.
I know, you're getting there.
Yeah. Yeah, then you're next, buddy.
Yeah, I got a few years. left on me. I'm only 26. I'm a youngin.
Mid-20s. I miss those days. Back in my day when I was in my mid-20s.
I hate my mid-20s. It's not fun.
Hey, fresh start, new year. We got this.
New games. Amazing games. Better be.
Hopefully.
Oh yeah. Best year gaming begins now.
I'm hoping when this episode drops that I have the Harvestella review up. I started the script. We will see about that. I have a lot to do and only 2 days to do it. But I'm hoping.
You got it. And that's not the only thing you have to do tonight.
What else do I have to do tonight? Sure. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about.
Complete and utter communication.
Of course. Yeah. That will work really well on just the audio podcast, not the video.
Yeah. That's okay.
It'll just be an awkward silence.
It's all right. No one gets the same experience. It's no matter how you listen, it's completely different experiences. Completely changes the way you play.
All right. Speaking of changing the way things are being played,
tell me something new.
All right, Microsoft was they were going to buy Activision-Blizzard, right? They're like, we're doing it,
and they still are.
The FTC is all like, lawsuit. We talked about it.
Scared.
Yeah, we talked about it probably like a couple months ago at this point. To where it was like, hey, it looks like they might do this. It's official. They are suing to block the acquisition from happening. They're saying it will harm competition. Apparently, the FTC is really cracking down on the tech industry getting too big, or like things being monopolized now.
Yeah.
Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard. I'm not gonna go over everything that was said. They both sides seem pretty confident that the deal's gonna happen. This is not gonna actually stop it.
Activision called them out on their shit.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure the deal will still happen, and I think PlayStation will be fine. I don't think this is actually going to hurt PlayStation all that much.
No, it won't.
It is funny seeing Microsoft more and more be like, Call of Duty is going to be on everything forever. We promise. It's okay.
Literally.
Which is obviously a reaction to the lawsuit happening.
Yeah.
But
I got
yeah,
an Xbox. I don't care.
It's happening. Lawsuit, which I think inevitably is just going to delay the whole process, but it will still end up happening.
It's just going to fall apart. It's just here to be fun and stupid and silly, quirky.
Yep. In my professional lawyer opinion, this is legal advice. I'm not following. I'm not.
I was waiting for the legal advice.
Nope. No legal advice. That's it. My legal advice is that I have no legal advice.
Okay, well, as a part-time amateur co-podcaster, my honest truth is that I'm very sad for the people who play on Switch and PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, because the last gen versions of Hogwarts Legacy are delayed. With the PS4 and Xbox One's version coming on April 4th, the Switch coming later on July 25th. If you have current gen, it's still coming out February 10th, or if you have the special edition that lets you play 3 days early on the 7th. Oh, it sucks, and it's just, I feel like it's the same thing with, I remember when Dying Light ended up getting delayed, and they just said fuck it for the previous gen, and it didn't come out on the previous gen. Like, just do it. It doesn't
it feels like it's really getting there. The
is.
distance is happening. When I first saw this headline that Hogwarts Legacy was delayed, I was like, "Oh, you're fucking kidding me!"
Literally, and then I realized it's like, no, just for the poor people is like what they're saying.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, just
not
cancel
actually,
those
but
versions. They shouldn't be putting them out if they're not going to run good enough, because then these people are going to be wasting their hard-earned money on something that just doesn't work for their system.
Right, and that's the. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens when the game comes out. It would be kind of funny if it's like Cyberpunk on last gen, like trying to run like it. That would be interesting. We'll see about
cars.
That. Yeah. Well, I mean, it could happen. Well, actually, no. I was thinking of like Harry Potter, but this takes place way before Harry Potter, so no
Late
flying
1800s.
cars.
Yeah, carriages.
Flying carriages. You could have that. Yeah.
I cannot wait for this game. I need
it. Me either. I think I will say there have been multiple people in my life who are not Harry Potter fans, don't give a shit about Harry Potter. They're like, yeah, I want to play Hogwarts Legacy.
It looks incredible. Amazing.
Yeah. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. I'm excited for this. I have so much nostalgia for one or two of those Mega Man Battle Network games. I didn't realize there were as many as there are.
Mm-hmm.
But got a release date, April 14th, 2023. I am excited. I want that nostalgia to flow through me again.
They need to remake or remaster the old Cartoon Network party games.
Those are very different, but sure.
Cartoon Network Speedway and Cartoon Network Block Party, bring them back. Put them in VR. Need them.
They're very different, but sure.
That's the nostalgia that I need. Gonna be
okay. This is the nostalgia part. Okay, I get it now.
That's real nostalgia. I have them behind me. They are in their boxes. That's right.
What? Cartoon Network?
Yeah, Cartoon Network Speedway and Block Party are behind me in their special plastic boxes, all safe.
Are you sure they're safe?
Yeah, because I just looked at them the other day.
If it was the other day, many days have gone by since then. They could be very unsafe in there.
Well, I have 2 guard cats who are going to sit around and watch them do something about it. So
could be
it would happen.
Betrayal like you would never expect. The cats are the ones making it unsafe.
Well, I hope they're playing it because it's a fun game. You want something that's beneficial and just keeps becoming more official? More TV shows. God of War's live-action TV show. We knew about this. It's still happening, but it's happening even more now. So that is coming from Amazon. It will be following the most recent narrative based off the two games and the Norse saga, not going over the originals, which I think that it's more entertaining, it's more up to date. But I feel like it
Yeah.
would be good if they had either like flashbacks or something to go back to some of the other stuff. But it's whatever. I love these characters. Give me more story. Cory Barlog is returning. He's going to be the executive producer on the show, with Rafe Judkins as the showrunner after working on The Wheel of Time. And I am very excited for at least one of these video game related shows to come out because there's so many in the works. I'm just waiting.
The Last of Us is coming very soon.
It is, but I'm still
I
waiting.
hope it's good.
I hope so too. I want it to be good.
Yeah, it looks good from what we've seen, but you never really actually know.
I'm
So,
always going to be mad when they don't cast actors that look almost exactly like the characters. That's just always going to be a nitpick.
oh, so you want Triple H to be Kratos?
Does he look more like Kratos?
He looks a decent amount. I mean, he's big, buff, bald, and has a beard.
If his facial structure looks like Kratos, then go for it. But because I'm basing that off the voice and everything, I want Christopher Judge.
We'll see. We're not the casters.
We shall see.
All right. A lot of PlayStation stuff going on here. Horizon is officially getting a multiplayer game, which is probably one of their million live service games that I don't remember what the actual number was. Remember, they were like, we're going to have like 1 billion live service games launching in the next 3 years.
Yeah, gross.
I'm sure this is that. It was announced through a job advertisement on Twitter. It will have new characters and a new art style, which I guess would make sense for a multiplayer thing. They're going to try to not make it like super high res, all that stuff. It will still have a narrative. In my experience, multiplayer games that try to have a narrative don't actually have a narrative that is worth it. I don't think it will end up being like Zero Dawn or Forbidden West or what have you. But it's happening. Why not?
Do you hear about the absolutely gross news of them wanting to remake the first one already?
No, it's way too soon for that.
Yeah, with all the hype of remaking The Last of Us Part 1, there's news of remaking of Zero Dawn, and that has got to be some of the biggest waste of resources and money in the gaming industry in the recent years. That
ridiculous. One is a pure money grab.
And it's such a pointless one. So pointless.
Yep.
Like, that is just throwing away money in the garbage, and that makes no sense to me. I hate it.
Yeah, that's we both kind of thought The Last of Us was too soon.
I think it's too soon. I still want to have tried it because for me specifically, it would have been better. I wanted to give it another shot. I had my fun with Zero Dawn. I thought that was a good game. I'm having struggles with Forbidden West, and this is much more recent. It so does not need a remake.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
Something that I do like is that Marvel Spider-Man 2 now has a release window, and that is of the towards the end in fall of 2023. But it is supposed to be happening this year, and that is a game that I cannot wait for. There's so many games this year that I cannot wait for, but
I really hope that is one that does not get delayed.
God, no. Please.
Spider-Man games, the most recent ones, are just incredible. They're so good.
Miles Morales is great. Like, I'm ready for this to be the next big continuation. And with Venom, all these other characters, see how good it feels, everything the PS5 can bring with this game. And then the Wolverine later on. But for now, I want it. I want it.
This is the MGU, the Marvel gaming universe that I want.
Yep.
Just Spider-Man and Wolverine.
Hey, if it works, it works.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's everything. That's all the games we played. That's most of the news. There actually wasn't really a lot big that happened, but it was holiday season, so it's usually slow with news.
but we've had time to play a lot of games.
Yeah. Not as much time as I would have liked, but some time.
No, never. Thanks, life.
Fucking life.
End of side 2. Please turn to side 3 of the Offshore Gamescast disc.